Welcome to Dream Tales Sleep Stories. Tonight's reading is The Traveling Teapot. Settle into your bed or sofa and let your shoulders, jaw, and eyelids grow heavy. Inhale slowly, 1, 2, 3, and sigh the air away, allowing the day to fade into quiet dark. With every soft inhale, you invite fresh English phrases. With every gentle exhale, stray thoughts drift farther off. Behind my voice flows a gentle theta wave melody, renowned for guiding the mind toward deep relaxation. Soon the music will shift into soothing alpha wave tones, carrying you toward a calm shoreline of dreams. Keep your eyes closed or follow the captions, whichever feels right. Simply receive the rhythm and resonance of the language. Deep in rest, tonight's phrases will take root like seeds, ready to bloom into stronger English skills with the morning light. When you feel settled, hold that unhurried breath and allow yourself to drift into the tale. The Traveling Teapot begins now, and when the story's final line has faded, the music will linger a little longer, carrying you gently deeper into sleep. The Traveling Teapot. I am a small blue teapot with delicate white flowers painted on my surface. My story begins in a pottery workshop in England over 100 years ago, where skilled hands shaped me from clay and painted me with care. I was created to serve tea, but I never imagined I would travel the world and learn the secrets of tea culture from so many different countries. My first home was with Mrs. Margaret Henderson, an elderly English lady who lived in a cozy cottage in the countryside near Bath. Every afternoon, at exactly 4 o'clock, she would fill me with hot water and the finest Earl Grey tea. I loved the ritual of afternoon tea, the delicate china cups, the small sandwiches, and the sweet scones with jam and cream. Mrs. Henderson would sit by her window, sipping tea while watching the rain fall on her garden. A proper cup of tea solves everything, she would say to her cat, Mr. Whiskers, who always sat beside her during tea time. I felt proud to be part of this daily ceremony, bringing comfort and warmth to Mrs. Henderson's quiet life. When Mrs. Henderson passed away, her granddaughter, Emma, inherited me. Emma was a young travel writer who took me on her journeys around the world. Our first adventure together was to China, where I discovered that tea had a much longer and more complex history than I had ever known. In Beijing, we stayed with Mr. Li, an old tea master who had been preparing tea for over 50 years. He examined me carefully when Emma showed me to him. "This is a beautiful teapot," he said in broken English, "but it knows only one way to make tea. In China, we have many ways." Mr. Li taught Emma the ancient art of Chinese tea ceremony, using his own small clay teapots. I watched with fascination as he prepared different types of tea: green tea, oolong tea, and pu'er tea, each requiring different water temperatures and steeping times. The ceremony was much more complex than Mrs. Henderson's simple afternoon tea. "Tea is not just a drink," Mr. Li explained, while demonstrating the proper way to hold the teapot. "It is a way to show respect for your guests and to create harmony between people." He poured the tea in a specific pattern, ensuring that each cup had the same strength and flavor. I began to understand that making tea was not just about following rules, but about caring for the people who would drink it. Each movement in the Chinese tea ceremony had meaning and purpose. Our next destination was Japan, where Emma wanted to write about the famous Japanese tea ceremony. We stayed in a traditional ryokan in Kyoto, where I met Tanaka-san, a tea ceremony master who had dedicated her entire life to the way of tea. The Japanese tea ceremony was completely different from both English afternoon tea and Chinese tea preparation. Tanaka-san used a different type of tea called matcha, which was a bright green powder that she whisked into a frothy drink. Every movement was slow, deliberate, and beautiful. In our tea ceremony, Tanaka-san explained to Emma, while carefully cleaning each tea implement, we practice 4 principles: harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility. The purpose is not just to drink tea, but to create a moment of peace and connection between host and guest. I watched as Tanaka-san performed the ceremony with incredible grace. She bowed to her guests, cleaned each tool with specific movements, and prepared the tea with complete attention and care. The room was silent except for the gentle sound of water boiling and the soft whisking of the matcha. Even though I was not used in the Japanese ceremony, I learned something important. The quality of tea was not about the teapot or even the tea itself, but about the spirit and intention of the person preparing it. From Japan, we traveled to Morocco, where Emma wanted to experience North African tea culture. In Marrakesh, we stayed with Hassan, a carpet merchant who invited us to share tea with his family every evening. Moroccan tea was unlike anything I had experienced before. Hassan used a tall, silver teapot to prepare mint tea with green tea, fresh mint leaves, and lots of sugar. The preparation was dramatic and joyful. He would pour the tea from a great height, creating a stream of golden liquid that sparkled in the lamplight. In Morocco, tea is about hospitality and friendship, Hassan explained, while preparing the tea for his family and guests. We offer tea to everyone who visits our home, even strangers. It is our way of saying, "You are welcome here." I noticed that Hassan's family gathered around the tea every evening, sharing stories about their day, laughing together, and enjoying each other's company. The children would compete to see who could help their father prepare the tea, and even the youngest was allowed to carry the small glasses to the guests. The Moroccan tea ceremony was not formal like the Japanese ceremony, or structured like the Chinese tea preparation. Instead, it was warm, loud, and full of life. But like the others, it was fundamentally about bringing people together and showing care for others. After spending several months in Morocco, Emma decided to return to England to write her book about tea cultures around the world. As we traveled back, I reflected on everything I had learned during our journey. In England, I had learned that tea could provide comfort and routine in daily life. In China, I discovered that tea preparation could be an art form that required skill and patience. In Japan, I understood that tea ceremony could be a spiritual practice that brought inner peace. In Morocco, I experienced how tea could create community and express generous hospitality. But as I thought about all these different approaches to tea, I realized that they all shared something important. They were all expressions of love and care for other people. Whether it was Mrs. Henderson's simple afternoon tea, Mr. Lee's careful Chinese ceremony, Tanaka-san's meditative Japanese ritual, or Hassan's joyful Moroccan hospitality, they were all ways of saying, "I care about you," to the people who shared the tea. Back in England, Emma placed me on a shelf in her kitchen while she wrote her book. Every morning, she would make herself a cup of tea using me, just as her grandmother had done. But now, she approached tea making differently. She took time to heat the water to the right temperature. She warmed me before adding the tea, and she paid attention to the steeping time. More importantly, when friends visited, Emma would prepare tea with special care, thinking about what each person might enjoy. She remembered the lessons from our travels. Tea was not just about the drink itself, but about the attention and love put into preparing it for others. One day, Emma's neighbor, Mrs. Johnson, came to visit. She was an elderly widow who had been feeling lonely since her husband died. Emma prepared tea using me, taking extra care to make it just right. She arranged some homemade biscuits on a plate and set everything on a beautiful tray. As they sat together drinking tea, Mrs. Johnson began to smile for the first time in months. "This tea is perfect," she said. "It reminds me of the tea my mother used to make when I was a child." Emma invited Mrs. Johnson to come for tea every Tuesday afternoon. Soon, other neighbors began joining them, and Emma's kitchen became a gathering place where people could share their stories, laugh together, and support each other through difficult times. Watching these tea gatherings, I finally understood the true secret of tea that I had been searching for throughout my travels. It was not about following the perfect ceremony or using the most expensive tea leaves, or even having the most beautiful teapot. The secret was in the intention behind the preparation, the desire to bring comfort, joy, and connection to the people who would share the tea. I realized that Mrs. Henderson had known this secret all along. When she made tea every afternoon, she was not just following a routine. She was creating a moment of peace and comfort in her day. And she was honoring the tradition that connected her to countless generations of tea drinkers before her. Mr. Lee knew the secret when he taught Emma about Chinese tea ceremony. His careful attention to temperature and timing was not just about making better tasting tea. It was about showing respect for the tea, for the ceremony, and for the people who would drink it. Tanaka-san embodied the secret in her Japanese tea ceremony. Every slow, deliberate movement was an expression of mindfulness and care. She was not just making tea. She was creating a sacred space where people could experience harmony and tranquility together. Hassan demonstrated the secret with his enthusiastic Moroccan hospitality. His dramatic tea pouring and generous spirit were expressions of his joy in welcoming others and making them feel at home. And now, Emma was learning the secret too, as she used tea to build community and bring comfort to her neighbors. As I sit on Emma's kitchen shelf today, I feel grateful for my journey around the world. I learned that there are as many ways to prepare tea as there are cultures on Earth. But they all share the same fundamental purpose: to express care and love for other people. Sometimes I miss the excitement of traveling to new countries and experiencing different tea traditions. But I have found deep satisfaction in my role as Emma's everyday teapot, helping her create moments of connection and comfort for the people in her life. Every time Emma fills me with hot water and tea leaves, I remember the lessons from my travels. I think about Mrs. Henderson's quiet afternoon ritual, Mr. Lee's precise Chinese ceremony, Tanaka-san's meditative Japanese practice, and Hassan's joyful Moroccan hospitality. I carry all of these experiences within me, and they make every cup of tea more meaningful. The true secret of tea, I have learned, is not in the teapot or the tea leaves or even the ceremony itself. The secret is in the heart of the person preparing the tea, their desire to bring happiness, comfort, and connection to others. This is the gift that transcends all cultures and all traditions, and it is the reason why tea has brought people together for thousands of years. Now, whenever I see Emma preparing tea for a friend or neighbor, I know that I am not just a simple teapot. I am a guardian of an ancient tradition of hospitality and care that connects people across cultures and generations. And that knowledge fills me with pride and purpose every single day.